Street North from 6th Street to north to 3rd Street North to be closed through traffic from 10 to 2 p.m., 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. with an open corridor for emergency vehicles maintained. Surrounding neighbors to be notified in advance by the village. Actual times of detour are at the discretion of the commanding North Hudson police department officer on the scene. And number 6, payment for village services must be paid within 30 days after the event.
Thank you, Stan. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor? Aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Planning Commission, item 6 on the agenda, Plan Commission recommendations, chair update.
Did not meet.
Did not meet. Move on to number 8, Public Works Committee recommendations. Darrell? I'm sorry.
7.
Oh, 7? I'm sorry. Personnel and Finance
That
Committee.
meeting was canceled as well, so we did not approve the claims.
All right.
Right, but what you'll need to do then is to go to the finance agenda and go through that
Okay.
in place of number 7.
Oh, here. All right. You probably don't. Here's mine.
You want to go through the entire, we need to approve the minutes,
I think we'll pass on the minutes.
claims.
Yep.
All right, item 3 on the regular Finance and Personnel Committee meeting, we have claims, review, and recommendations. Maria, can you fill in some of those items for me?
Well, I guess if the board has questions, it's open for questions.
Yep. At this point, Mark, I would move approval of the March 2011 non-recurring claims that total $24,322.23.
I'll second that motion.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Those claims are approved.
The next item is the street sweeping contract under
Hold on for
Wait a
just a
second.
second.
the finance meeting, which we would have been reviewing. It also comes down under Public Works. Should we just defer that?
Yeah, all of them, will be the rest of that, sorry, it will be deferred to the committee that is sponsoring because you don't have.
Okay, all right. So now we'll proceed with the regular agenda?
Correct.
All right.
Sorry about that. Trying to make sure nothing gets missed.
Okay.
Item 8, Public Works Committee recommendations. Darrell?
Coming out of Public Works, and these would have been reviewed in Finance if we'd had a quorum, so they come without a recommendation, obviously, because that committee did not meet, but they have come through Public Works. And the first one for consideration is the St. Croix Station construction project. There is a schedule that's included in your packet from Cedar Corporation that lays out the anticipated dates. We will be going to bid on this project. That means that when the bids are received, we'll have a chance to review the bids and make a determination then whether or not we are going to proceed with the project as indicated, but we will not have that until the bids are received, and you can see the bids are anticipated to be back by middle of April, tax day, 15 April. Any comments that you want to make on this, Kevin? Pretty straightforward. There's no approval that's necessary. It's just. Okay. Any question from anybody?
There was just a little bit of a difference from what we looked at in the Public Works committee meeting, just on the bid opening, just worked out a little better for Gloria.
Okay.
So from April 14th to the 15th, that's the only change.
Okay. Not material. Mark, the next one then is the street sweeping contract, which we did review at Public Works. This also is in your board packet. We do have a presentation from Mike McPhillips Incorporated. This is the vendor that currently is providing street sweeping services in the village. They are proposing the same rate for 2011 as they've had for a number of years, and it's simply $86 an hour. The use of the street sweeping is controlled by Public Works, by Mark Ekblad. So this is on an on-call basis. As we use them, we are billed $86 an hour. So at this point, Mark, I would move to approve the contract for street sweeping services with Mike McPhillips Incorporated, effective 1 April 2011 through 31 March 2012, at a rate of $86 per hour.
Is there a
Second.
we have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Thank you, Darrell. We have, next is
The
the.
next one is the
Storm sewer.
storm sewer. It's the catch basin that is located up at the end of 8th Street North. It's at the intersection of 8th Street and Summer Street North. There is deterioration under the catch basin. Water has eroded the substrata, and that does need to be repaired. It's obviously a hazard at this point. We did review this in Public Works and are recommending approval here to the full village board. So, Mark, I would move to have Zappa Brothers Incorporated replace the catch basin and repair the street at 8th Street North and Summer Street North at a cost not to exceed $3,993.
I'll second that motion.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion?
How old is it? Just out of curiosity's sake, is it an ancient old sewer?
No, it's storm
It's
sewer.
a
Or
catch
storm
basin for storm water. And as far as the age, I can't answer that.
No problem.
Now, Kevin, can we use the funds from the newly formed storm sewer fund? That is what
Right,
this
that's
would
where
be
the
covered
funds
from.
would come from. Right.
Thank you.
All, hearing no further discussion, all those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Thank you.
And the third one out of Public Works, Mark, as you'll recall, was our discussion on the New Holland skid loader. As we have done in the past, the skid loader that we have is available to be traded in for a new skid loader. We're billed at the rate of $10 per hour. This means that by utilizing this program, we always have an asset that is under warranty. We have no maintenance expense on it, cost of tires or other mechanical liabilities for the village. So the motion that we would have and the recommendation from Public Works is to approve. We move to approve the trade-in of the skid loader to Value Implement at a cost of $10 per hour, not to exceed 280 hours, and to receive a new skid loader in its place.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
I guess the only quick thing, just so everybody is aware of this, there are more hours on this particular loader than on the one that we traded in last time, and that's because we would normally do this in about December. But as this one was used for snow removal and primarily some of the removal as the snow piled up in the intersections where we needed to clear site paths, this one will actually have more hours on it than we've had on the previous trade-ins, but it's still at $10 per hour, whatever is on the tack.
Well, on the flip side, if we go back to our regular schedule, there'll be less hours on the next one
Exactly.
traded in. so.
Yep.
All right, thank you. Item 9 on the agenda, public.
Oh, we need to vote
I'm
on
sorry. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Thank you. Item 9, Public Safety Committee recommendations. Chair update. I don't think we met. Item 10, Public Welfare Committee recommendations. Chair update. Jim?
All righty. Thank you very much, Mark. We touched on the spring curbside leaf collection, and that date will be taking place. Curbside pickup will be starting Monday, May 2nd. All bagged yard waste and leaves must be in biodegradable bags, placed curbside prior to 6 a.m. that Monday morning. Any bags not placed at that time are in jeopardy of not being picked up, so make sure that in reality, everything is out there on Sunday night. Bulk item collection date this year was scheduled for April 23rd. Which reminds me, I have to okay it with you if it is okay to use the car wash location as
Sure.
we've done in years gone by. Thank you, I totally forgot to do that. So it will be at North Hudson. We will put notice out to the public so that everybody is made aware of that, and that people can get the details of that by reading the paper and looking at the postings in the vestibule.
And I'm working with Veolia as well, and I believe they plan on doing another mailing out to all their customers again this year, similar to the one that they did last year, maybe a little more informative, but certainly a similar type of format to what they did last year, just to kind of help raise awareness of those two events.
Wonderful, wonderful. Hopefully the snow will have melted off of our grass by the time that this pickup is due. And then the other thing, which isn't on the schedule, but we did talk about the DNR grant. Gloria, is that something that we should touch on at this meeting, or since it's not on the front agenda, but we did talk about it public for, is
Colleen,
that in parks?
had you planned on touching on that a little bit in your report?
A little bit.
Yeah, I can just, pardon me?
Probably during her time, and you can interject with
Okay, sounds good.
the information.
With that being said, I have nothing else. I believe that should cover it.
Thank you, Jim.
You bet.
Mark,
Item-
just
yes,
just a brief question to Jim on the leaf pickup. I suppose it takes a period of time for education, but I did notice last year there were still some residents that used the old plastic bags. My question is, obviously they're bypassed by Veolia. The resident does what with those? Empties them and puts them in the right bag, or what happens?
There, I don't believe there's going to be any leniency, so yeah, they would have to be removed from any plastic bags that are not biodegradable and placed in a biodegradable bag. State law requires it. So it will, at that point, become the resident's responsibility, and no, they will not be picked up this year.
I think last year, at least in the spring, Veolia was very accommodating and was willing to debag some of the items that were in the improper bags. In the fall, we kind of tried to scale back on that a little bit, and they did notify. They were kind of monitoring as they were collecting garbage, in the days leading up to the collection, and they were notifying residents through some stickers and things that they were leaving on the bags, just to help those residents, become aware of the fact that their bags were the wrong bags. And so they've been really good about trying to communicate those types of things. So we're hoping that the number of non-biodegradable bags now this year should be even less, and that will hopefully be close to being fully compliant with that.
And I think it's a little easier to get a hold of them this year
Right,
than it has been in the past. The bags.
the bags.
Hopefully, we'll have 100% compliance this spring. That is my hopes. It's only taken 2 years.
Well, it's a learning process for
It
people.
is.
It's
It is.
changing habits.
But we do really have to thank Veolia for taking the time too, and making sure that anytime they saw a bag out there, they notified people. And so there really is no excuse now. So hopefully everything will work out as planned.
Thanks, Jim.
You bet.
Item 11 on the agenda, Park Board Committee. Colleen?
Just a few things, mostly regarding the Chief Jansen Memorial Park. As Jim had mentioned, there is the DNR grant to be used for purchasing of deer-resistant plants. And Becky O'Keefe will be helping us decide which plants to put into that park. And part of that, it gets paid out of the grant with matching from our park fund. And once we know the price of that, then we'll let you know. And then also, Becky's also working on getting an additional grant from the Master Gardeners, which could also help get even more plants. The other items are, we've been working for a while trying to get a flagpole and a memorial plaque and boulder installed at the park. And so last month, we had talked about the flagpole, and then it was brought up that it needs to be lighted since the flag would be up at all times. So Mark Ekblad did some more research and found a flagpole with lighting system with solar lighting. And so I would move to approve the purchase and installation of a flagpole and lighting system from American Flagpole and Flag Company at a cost not to exceed $1,700, and a 4-by-6-foot polyester flag at a cost not to exceed $50 for Chief Jansen Memorial Park, to be paid with park development funds.
Second.
Go ahead, thanks.
I'll
Here,
second.
Any discussion?
Not for me.
So that solar thing keeps the flag lit all night, so it complies with the rules for lit flags or whatever? Cool, great.
And anticipated maintenance is,
Not much.
okay.
And the flag is polyester since it's more durable in high winds.
All right, we have a motion and a second discussion. As happened, so all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
And the other part to this is purchasing of a memorial plaque and boulder. We had looked at some boulders that ended up to be way too expensive. So again, they looked and found a local company that makes fake boulders, which look real at a cost much cheaper, and it also will not involve shipping. And then also, they can make the space to put in the dedication plaque. So move to approve the purchase of boulder MB number 10 from Milestones, Inc. at a cost not to exceed $283, and a 30 inch by 20 inch dedication plaque from carrottop.com at a cost not to exceed $1,400 for Chief Jansen Memorial Park, to be paid with park development funds. There are pictures of the boulders, but in black and white, they don't quite look as nice.
There's a motion, is there a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion?
Boy, I wish I'd have known when I was a kid digging rocks and boulders out of the field when they were hit by the plow that these things were worth some money and could have sold them.
All right, we have a motion and a second, and discussion is evaporated. So can we have all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item 12.
Can I make the motion since you're the president? Motion to adjourn.
Second. Done. Thank you.
Good, nice job.